Everybody's upset tonight at this story, man. Meerkat, how y'all doing, Meerkat people? Well, heck, man, I can tell you some stuff. Let me tell you about the Washington Post article I read, where they did their best to humanize William Porter, the officer who didn't buckle in Freddie Gray and didn't convince, I guess he didn't convince. When Freddie Gray said he needed medical attention, the first time he ignored him, said he thought he was bullshitting. And the second time, he said, well, I told the driver, but hey, me and the driver, we are the same rank. I couldn't make him stop. I couldn't make him radio it in. So it's not my fault. Sometimes people die in the vans. The Washington Post article did their best to parallel the lives between William Porter and Freddie Gray. Both young men were the same age as I stated before, same age, born in the same city, under the same circumstances for the most part. William Porter was born to a single mom. Freddie Gray, born to a single mom. Freddie Gray's mom had one difference, one major difference. She was a drug addict. William Porter's mom, high school dropout just like Freddie Gray's, but was not a drug addict. The father of her child was in the armed services. I think it was the Army. He was stationed away. But they kept in close contact and they saw each other occasionally. A few years later, after the birth of Freddie Gray, well, a few years later as toddlers, well, let me back up. Freddie Gray was born premature with his twin sister. William Porter, I don't think he was the only child, but I'm not sure. But no problem there. He wasn't a preemie who fought for life as a crack baby or whatever. There is a couple distinctions here. William Porter's mother went to school. She got a GED. And she began taking classes to become a medical technician. With that money, she was able to move her and her son out of the worst parts of Baltimore into a little home in a better location. Freddie Gray wasn't so lucky. His mother fought substance abuse. Never maintained a job. Was on disability due to her drug addiction. According to what they say in the Washington Post, I have no way to corroborate it, but never took real good care of Freddie Gray and his sister and their other sibling, because we know how addiction goes. At some point, William Porter, the officer, his mother got him into a program that was police. It was a police program where it was sort of like a Boys and Girls Club. He went there, he was around officers, and he enjoyed it. After graduating high school, William Porter, the officer, went to a college a couple years. Went to college for a couple years. He decided he didn't want to do that, so he came back. He decided, well, you know what? I know what I want to do. I want to be a police officer. Freddie Gray, on the other hand, decided, well, I'm going to sell drugs. Freddie Gray had a number of run-ins with the law, selling weed and heroin. Low-level stuff, on the corner stuff. Still illegal, we know. They did their best in this article to make you feel like, William Porter defied all the odds and Freddie Gray was the odds. He succumbed to all the odds. And then when I read the comments section, which is something you got to really, I would not suggest it. I would not recommend reading comment sections anywhere on the internet surrounding any case involving anyone of any color, because it will definitely be written with racist comments. Oh, he could have just done better. He should have pulled himself up by his bootstraps. So what, his mom was a crackhead. Every other comment was about how stupid Freddie Gray was, how he was his own fault he was dead, how somehow he birthed himself. It's his fault he was born to a crackhead mother, lived in poverty his whole life. even down to the high levels of lead in him and his sister, which contributed, doctors diagnosed them having ADHD and all these other things, all this stuff. Everything wrong with Freddie, they blamed on Freddie, and everything good that William Porter ever did, they blamed on William Porter, as if his mother didn't have anything to do with it, as if his mother didn't get the GED and then later married the father of her child. They got married, guys, which gave them dual income, which enabled them to be able to live away from this location. Because remember, Freddie Gray and William Porter were born in the same area, a few blocks from one another. But I swear, guys, every comment was, oh, Freddie Gray got what he deserved. That's what you get. You know, we need to praise Freddie. We need to praise William Porter, not Freddie Gray. And we need to stop. Black people need to stop praising people like Freddie. And here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. You will never once hear me say that Freddie Gray is a role model. You will never once hear me say that you should grow up to be like Freddie Gray. But what you will hear me say, and what I will say unapologetically, is that Freddie Gray should be alive today. That's what this case is about. We do not get to determine if people should live or die who have not killed people. These same people who despise Freddie Gray, who blame him for his own death that we know was caused by the officers, whether intentionally or unintentionally, was caused by the officers. No doubt there was no one else in that damn van but them. They still find a way to make it about Freddie Gray. And see, that's why I have a hard time being upbeat tonight, man. Because I know I live in a country where people love to blame the dead. They blame the dead no matter what it is. Why didn't they have a gun? All these people in the church praying, why they have a gun? See, that's the problem. You blame the dead people in the church for not having guns on them. Because a white supremacist ran in the church and shot her. You actually blame the dead people for not being strapped in church on a Tuesday. Lord, and it's just enough to make you just wonder, what is wrong with people? And you know what? I don't know Freddie Gray. He was 5'8". He was about 140 pounds, a slim build guy, a slight build guy. Right? Young man, 25 years old. But I got a feeling if you ask Freddie Gray, hey, Freddie Gray, are you a role model? He'd probably say no. Because see, I knew guys like Freddie Gray. Guys who, they were born in bad situations. They did not find a way to transcend it. It doesn't mean they were the worst people on the planet. It doesn't mean they would kill children and push old people in front of cars for fun. When you grow up in poverty, you look for ways to make money, illegal or legally. We have a poverty problem in America. We have a people on the bottom row of America who do not have hope. Now, yes, there are people who escape that every day. There are people who find a way out of hell. But no one's saying, why does hell exist? In the richest country in the world, no one says, why are they living in hell? They just go, you're living in hell when it's your fault. Hell existed before Freddie Gray was born. No one says, why was his mother on crack? Why didn't she get in a program? Why weren't there programs for her? Why didn't someone at school notice the kid ate once a day? No one noticed he wore the same clothes every day. Did he smell bad? No one noticed. In the article, Freddie Gray, they said there were times the mother would be out on the crack bench, gone for a week, and leave the kids at home with no money, no food, no electricity. You mean to tell me no one knew? No one helped? No one. But see, no one in that comment section even asked that question. they so busy defending William Porter because he turned out good, they just condemn Freddie Gray. They don't even ask, well, hell, the kid, he had everything stacked against him. He had no dad. His mom a crackhead. He born in hell. We lucky he didn't turn into a killer. We're lucky. But no, they blame and blame the weakest among us, the people with the worst cards in life, in the richest country in the world. They do not hold any responsibility for love thy neighbor and be the first one to call up my channel and talk to me about the good book, about what we need to do for Syrian refugees and Jews across the world and Christians across the world, and we can't even give enough damn to take care of people in our own country who survive off meals at school lunch and live in the dark in the winter with no heat. There is a travesty in this situation, there is. I don't think that parent deserves $6.4 million. I don't. I want Freddie Gray back. But that's what we do in America. We pay money. I've met people like Freddie Gray who had nothing. I grew up with people like Freddie Gray who were on the bottom, who did not have support at home. William Porter, the officer, had a loving mom and a loving dad, and they got back together, and they moved, and they lived in a decent home, away from crack rocks and syringes on the playground, gunfire every night, dope dealing being a regular thing that people do. We demonize these kids in these situations, but when these rich Wall Street bastards take all of our money, liquidate grandma and grandpa's retirement money, I don't hear none of these bastards in comment sections with something to say. They make a Freddie Gray, a kid who sold a few bags of weed and a couple syringes, never got rich enough to even get out the hood, like he's the boogeyman. Meanwhile, we got people selling drugs with side effects will kill you, making billions and billions. We got rich bastards selling pharmaceuticals at prices so exorbitant. They are effectively killing people because they cannot afford it to be alive, to purchase the freaking pills. And they're doing it just for money. But do I hear comment section? Well, I hear the comment sections demonizing these people. Maybe I do. But do they make it attributable to the race of the person? Why is it that whenever I read about a Freddie Gray doing something, and people have a lot of criticism, they attribute it to race. But when I read about rich bastards who'd rather you die than lower the price for the medication so they can make, I don't know, 80% profit instead of 400% profit, no one contributes that or attributes that to the race of the person doing that. But it's only to the Freddie Grays. Freddie Gray never shot anyone. He never stuck up. He never went and shot indiscriminately into a Planned Parenthood clinic or whatever the hell. He didn't go to Rome, shoot a bunch of people partying because his dance moves weren't cool. He never went to a church and shot up the church. All he did was sold drugs, and he wasn't even, that's not even what they picked him up for. But still, they demonize him. So yeah, I'm a little pissed off about it. But we're going to channel our energy into spreading the truth. I'm going to channel my angst into making sure that you good people that watch this channel will know some facts and know some stuff. So that when we go in there to press that button and pull that lever, we start voting for people who to our best knowledge, our best ability. Like Roland S. Martin says, stands for some of the core things that we care about. The person you vote for, man, they don't have to excite you. But please vote for someone who your top 3 or 4 things they're in line with. Because this has to stop. Somehow, when a civilian is dead, somehow it's the civilian's fault. I'm not saying William Porter is the worst person in the world. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that if Freddie Gray is responsible for being born to a crackhead mom in a hellish city called Baltimore with no opportunity, with no father, surrounded by drug dealers and drugs, if he's responsible for his choices, well, William Porter, you're responsible too. Police academy or no police academy.